So when you argue for design-led teams, right,
Yeah.
do you often find business people rolling their eyes? And if so, like, what do you actually tell them to get them on board?
It's a brave question you asked because of all the alcohol you
I
drink.
know. Do you want the rated G answer, or do you want the rated RX answer?
Give us what you want to give us today.
Yeah, give us the RX.
Yeah.
Give us the RX.
No. Well, first of all, I try not to divide people that way, right? So it's so easy in companies to put people in categories. They put them in you're the business person and here's the boundaries in terms you have to work. You're the designer, you only get this, and you're the developer, this is your job, right? And that's the problem in traditional technology companies is they put these boundaries on people versus here's the problem we have to solve. What's your take? What's your take? What's your take? And I think for me, why I've been really successful starting in Hot Studio where I had clients is I never really labeled them as the business voice. I label them as a collaborator who understands what their goals are on behalf of their customers. So for me, I've never felt like I've had to speak the business language, which you'll hear a lot of people say that. Well, you're a designer. You're going to learn how to talk to business people. I'm like, well, how about you just understand the context and frame the problem differently so you don't label it a business problem or a design problem. That said, I have had people roll their eyes. And because I think they come in with preconceived notions when they meet a designer, they're going to come in with preconceived, especially, I joined Autodesk. You're going to get people who are like, oh, you're the designer. You're the one who's so generative. You never make decisions. Like, people start putting these labels and then they create these personas based on what they think that person is. And so you need to know that going in. And then you need to break that, you got to break that shit down. I don't even feel like I have to do it.
So if it's not if you're not pitching it to them as like teams,
you're not drinking, Bobby.
Yeah, you gotta catch up.
Keep going.
Yeah, because your questions aren't as interesting.
I'm a lightweight.
I know.
You're going to get me in trouble in about 5 minutes.
I'm totally getting you in trouble.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
So if you're not pitching it to them as teams or like, these functions that are siloed off to each other, then I imagine the argument is it's a perspective that needs to be added when a decision's being made, right? So what perspective are you telling them a designer actually brings to a problem?
Well, first of all, I ask a lot of questions if I don't understand something. I don't pretend to come in and know, what the product market fit is, but I know what product market fit is. So I think you have to know, you have to understand the world in which you're working with your collaborators, right? So, when the business person comes in and they're using taxonomy and language and they're looking at their tools and they're making business decisions, I have to be able to understand enough so I can have a conversation with them, right? Same with technology. Like I back in the old days when websites were gray, I used to code my own websites. I used to contact Linda Wyman and figure out how to download the 216 color web safe color palette, right? So I had that context, so I have enough knowledge about technology where I can have an intelligent conversation, but I don't go deep enough to fool myself. So you have to know enough in order to have those conversations, and then I don't have to tell them anything, right? It's really about, and then I feel like it's their responsibility or it's my responsibility to educate them about what design means. And not necessarily say a designer does this and these are the processes that you have to follow. It's much more about my job is to be the unrelenting, is that the word?
Unrelenting, yes.
Customer advocate. I come in with the point of view that how are we serving our customers? What do they need, want, and desire from us? How can we help improve their lives? So I don't even talk about design. I might not even mention the D word. I would just come in and say, what's our strategy? Who are your customers? And how, based on what we have to offer them, what is the value exchange? So I inject language that is so they don't feel like I'm not coming in and going, well, we need a persona and it's going to take 3 weeks. Like once I start going into the design language I lose them.
Yeah.
Right?
Speak their language.
Yeah. Well, you speak a language and understand the landscape of the people that you're working with.
Right.